Welcome to Online Learning with me, Mom Jen, and this is a video on our lecture series in general physics.
In this video, we would be discussing what free body diagrams are. Free body diagrams is a useful aid for representing the relative magnitude and direction of all forces acting upon an object in a given situation. This diagram is a helpful tool in analyzing scenarios or problems related to force and different laws of motion. In a free body diagram, the size of the arrow denotes the magnitude of the force, while the direction of the force denotes the direction in which the force acts. Now, how do we describe a free body diagram? Here are the features of a free body diagram. First, it is modified as a problem is solved, and it consists of the following components. First, we use a simplified version of the body. Usually, we use a box, or you may use a circle or any shape that you like. But in physics, a box would be enough. Next, we identify now a coordinate system. Then we are going to analyze the problem and identify the forces. And you usually represent that as arrows pointing in the direction they act on the body. We also include moments showed as curved arrows pointing in the direction they act on the body. Now, a given problem may have other factors to be considered, but there are some points we don't include in the free body diagrams. These are bodies other than the free body diagram, constraints, internal forces, and velocity and acceleration vectors. Now, how do we make for free body diagrams? First, we need to identify the contact forces. To identify the forces acting on the body, you should draw an outline of the object with dotted lines as shown in this figure. Make sure to draw a dot when something touches the object. When there is a dot, it indicates that there is at least one contact force acting on the body. Now you can draw the force vectors at the contact points to represent how they push or pull on the object. After identifying the contact forces, draw a dot to represent the object that we are interested in. Here, we are only interested in determining the forces acting on our object or the body. Now, once you have identified the forces, draw a coordinate system and label the positive directions. Now, once you have drawn this, you should now include the contact forces on the dot with an arrow pointing away from the dot. Now, take note that the arrow lengths should be relatively proportional to each other. Next, you label all the forces acting on the object. Once you're done with this, you can now draw and label the long-range forces, and this will usually be weight unless there is an electric charge or magnetism involved. If there is acceleration in the system, you should also draw and label the acceleration vector. Here are some sample free body diagrams you could use as reference. Our first scenario is a bottle resting on a tabletop. Your free body diagram should look like this. There is a box with an arrow going up, which represents the normal force, and there is also a force, or there is also an arrow going down, which represents the gravitational force. In this next example, an egg is free falling from a nest in a tree. Now, we should neglect the air resistance in this situation. Our free body diagram would simply look like this, wherein you have your body and you have the force, which is only the gravitational force. Now, if a rightward force is applied to a book in order to move it across a desk at a constant velocity, considering only the frictional forces and neglecting air resistance, a free body diagram for this situation will look like this. As you could see, there are four different forces acting on the body or acting on the book. First, we have the normal force, which is going upwards. Then we have the gravitational force, represented by the downward arrow. And then, if you have seen or if you have analyzed the situation, there is a rightward force being applied. Hence, we have the applied force at the right. And we also considered now the frictional force, so there should be an arrow going to the left. Take note that typically the applied force would be the negative, or it would go oppositely the direction of the frictional force. In our next sample, a skydiver is descending at constant velocity. Considering the air resistance, the free body diagram for this scenario would be like this. You now have the air resistance and the gravity as the forces acting on this body. Now, I challenge you to make your own free body diagram by having a partner or classmate, or you may go solo and open the link to the interactive free body diagram maker made by the physics classroom. Do you have any questions? Feel free to place them in our comment box. That's all for this video.